President recognizes Senator Anthony.
Thank you, Mr. President. As Appropriations Chair, I rarely stand before you during statements to provide any thoughts at the conclusion of session. Most of my time is spent negotiating, thinking through the details of our $80+ billion budget. And yesterday, I had some interesting thoughts after many of the speeches that went before us. We took the time to negotiate and bring forward a school supplemental that unlocked $125 million of additional funding for our schools to support mental health and safety. And I watched in disappointment as many of my colleagues, with a lot of fake outrage and shouting, decided to put politics over our young people. And as most of us know, you can always come to me if you have thoughts or ideas about ways that we can make this institution better, ways that we can utilize these precious state resources for the betterment of our people. So as I sat and listened to these speeches, I started to reflect on the invocation that I gave just yesterday. At that point, I'd balled it up, put it in the recycling bin, and I sat quietly and actually took it out of the recycling bin. And there was a portion of the invocation that I wanted to lift up yet today. I quoted and I said, "Give us the courage to do the complicated things, the challenging things, the less politically popular things, if it means a brighter future for the generation after us. Remind us, dear Lord, that we can disagree without being disagreeable, knowing that even with different opinions, we have the ability to work together in the spirit of unity." I just said at the beginning of session, and what I saw at the end of session was some of the worst of politics. But I wake up every day and it's a fresh start, another opportunity just to get it right. And so, I'm reminded of the words of my colleague from the Upper Peninsula. And some of those words resonated with me because he mentioned an area that I'm very passionate about, and it is the health and safety of state workers. I'm the daughter of an auto worker and a state employee. And over the last few years, we have been barreling over corrections officer safety and the shortage of so many corrections officers across the state that are taking care of over 30,000 of our loved ones in many of the correctional facilities across the state. Now, these corrections officers, again, state employees, are leaving their positions in alarming numbers due to exhausting forced overtime and mandated double shifts. Mandated overtime that spans multiple days in a row and often multiple days per week. These men and women are entrusted with the lives of Michiganders in 26 correctional institutions, and there are currently over 900 vacancies statewide, and that number continues to grow every day. Corrections officers suffer from suicide, substance abuse, higher rates of divorce, and mental illness at some of the highest rates of all professions in Michigan. These are stressful conditions, a level of stress that most of us, when we sit in this beautiful state capitol and spend, yes, some long hours debating and negotiating, but we cannot imagine the stress that they are under each and every day. And each and every day, the crisis continues to grow. Now, make no mistake. We've tried multiple approaches, both under Democratic and Republican control, to try to address this crisis. We've done retention bonuses. We've had creative recruitment efforts. So many things that we've tried to do in the past few years, but nothing is working. So today I call upon all of us on both sides of the aisle, in both chambers, and yes, even the executive, to come together, to bring together that spirit of unity that I talked about in our invocation, and actually listen to the outcry of these state employees, because we cannot afford